Actor Chris Hemsworth, you know him as Thor, says he is taking a break from acting after he learned that he has a heightened risk of developing Alzheimer's.
You have a very rare combination, which is you have 2 copies of ApoE4, a set from your mom and a set from your dad.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means you have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
You're constantly thinking you're going to live forever, especially as a young individual, and then to all of a sudden be told, oh, this may be the thing that might take you out, was like, whoa.
Right now, 6.5 million people over the age of 65 are living with Alzheimer's, according to estimates from the Alzheimer's Association. So joining us now to talk about this and what Chris Hemsworth just learned is Dr. Chris T. Pernell, Regent at Large for the American College of Preventive Medicine. This genetic predisposition that he learned about that he has, it's not a diagnosis, but would you describe it more of a strong indication that this could happen, or what's the sense?
I think the easiest way for everyone to understand it is that if you have this particular gene in this variant, that your risk to develop Alzheimer's increases. Normally, if you're 65 or older, about 2% of persons of that age group will develop Alzheimer's in the year. If you have 1 copy of that gene, that risk triples. If you have 2 copies of that gene, that risk increases by 10 to 15%. So it's not a certain diagnosis.
Well, does it help as far as like researching, right? I mean, listen, I am particularly interested in this story. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, had a cousin who had early onset, had other family members who I don't want to call out, whatever, but having issues with Alzheimer's. And if you're able to diagnose this earlier, is there a medication that you can take? Are there things that you can do? Does it help you in at least knowing so you can get your affairs in order? Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally hear what you're saying. So for me, I'm a preventive medicine physician, right? So prevention is power. Knowing that you have increased risk, you can focus on general behaviors to help you remain healthier. What are those general behaviors? Engaging in physical activity, ensuring that you have a healthy diet so you're not developing overweight or obesity, or you have diabetes or high blood pressure, or even depression and memory loss and hearing loss or things like that can put you at risk to develop it. So knowing is a way for you to develop a roadmap to live healthier.
Then what do you think the point is for him? Is there a point to what he's doing, or do you understand what I'm saying? Because he says, I'm going to step back. Would this mean that other people, if we're talking to people across the country, should other people sort of step back and enjoy their lives if they're increased, or just reassess what's happening?
I think it's tough news to get. He's a fairly young man, but everybody should step back and enjoy their lives, right? We're living through an unprecedented crisis. We've been through the worst pandemic that we've seen in 100 years. The battle with knowing about a disease like Alzheimer's is that we have limited tools in our war chest, if you will. The fact that he does know, he says he wants to embrace his family more. But more importantly, I hope that all of us walk away with the more that you can be active, physically active, eat well, the more that you can prevent common diseases like high blood pressure, the better off you'll be.
I just keep thinking about, that saying, what will you do with this one precious life? Reminds us of that, right?
Very important.
Like how
very important.
My dad was 49 when he died.
Wow, Pops. I forgot about that.
49, and he had like this big life by 49, but still 49. And for so many people, I thank Chris Hemsworth for helping us remember that.